Good morning. I thought I would take you along for a little bit of a vlog today. I'm not doing anything very exciting. This is a very typical day for me. It's Monday today, March like 27th or something. We are gonna go to the gym today, Johnny and I. It's around 11:30 right now, so I'll probably eat breakfast and then we'll head out. I think Johnny and I are both working out today, but I'll see if I can convince him to film part of my workout for you. I am training glutes and hamstrings today. I haven't gotten any changes to my program yet. I sent my check-in to my coach yesterday, so I should get an update either today or tomorrow, and whether or not something changes, we'll see. But yeah, I'm training glutes and hamstrings. I like this workout. It doesn't kill me. It doesn't take a ton of energy. I think the hardest part is my dumbbell deadlift, so maybe I'll film some of that. We'll see. But it's glutes, hamstrings, and then I finish with some shoulder accessories, which is really nice. I love training shoulders and I love training upper body. So it makes the workout a little bit less exhausting for me. And aside from that, I don't have anything really planned for the day. It's pretty accurate. I pretty much do nothing most of the time. But anyways, I'll take you along. We'll see what I get up to. This is my blended cottage cheese. This is my absolute favorite way to eat cottage cheese. It's so good. If you don't like cottage cheese or you think you don't like cottage cheese, try having it blended. So I blend it up with one sweetener, one sugar-free sweetener, and it honestly tastes like cheesecake. So in there I add my protein granola, which is definitely not low calorie, but thankfully I'm not in a deficit right now, so I can fit it in. And then I do add some strawberry jam right now. This is a twice the fruit jam, so it's relatively low calorie and it's not like super high in sugar. It's so good. It's definitely worth trying if you think you don't like cottage cheese. It's sweet, it tastes like cheesecake, and it keeps you full, and it's a ton of protein, like 30 grams of protein in here. So I'm gonna eat this and then I will go work out. I really like these tights. They're good quality. They're almost like a little bit of a compression tight, so I feel nice and like snug. And I do like this top as well. But I've just been feeling a little uninspired by my workout clothes recently. Not recently. It's hard to constantly be choosing something to wear from that giant stack of laundry on the bed. Good morning. Say hello to the world. You look very nice with your orange collar on.
This one is good.
You had some?
Yeah.
It is good. So I did decide to make a second coffee, so I'm gonna bring this one to go with me to the gym. And we are just about to leave, so it's 11:36 right now, so definitely not an early morning workout. But I'm gonna make my coffee, take it to go, and we will go work out. I've got my creatine, my glutamine, my vitamin C in here, as well as I took my vitamin D. So those are all the supplements I take, aside from like protein powder, but I haven't been using a ton of protein powder because I don't like regular whey protein very much. And I haven't been able to find clear whey or hydrolyzed whey anywhere. So pretty much this is all I've been taking for supplements. The vitamin C I take is like a tablet, so it flavors the water like orange, so that's nice because it makes it easier for me to drink my supplements as well as get hydrated. So I'm gonna sip on this, and then I thought I would just sit down and put some makeup on. I took off anything I had on when I went to the gym, so I'm gonna put on a more full face of makeup right now, and I think I'm gonna do some filming today. I don't really have any plans for the day, but the lighting's really nice. I feel like filming something, so maybe I'll film some shorts for TikTok and then do some sort of longer sit down video. And the cat is going to join us. Hi, what's up? My workout in the gym was good today. I do feel like my strength is improving quite a bit. I didn't increase the weight for my hip thrust today or for my dumbbell stiff leg deadlifts, but I was able to do more reps for both, so that was nice. I guess I could talk a little bit about like how I apply and try and practice like progressive overload, because I do think that progressive overload is important, but so is maintaining good form and control throughout a movement and making sure that you're getting a good contraction. So I feel like with hip thrust, it's kind of a good example that you can lift a lot of weight in a hip thrust because your glutes are a really strong muscle. It's still going to recruit muscles in your hamstrings, and sometimes I can even feel muscles in my quads getting involved depending on how well my foot positioning is. For me, with a hip thrust, I could increase the weight and do 6 to 8 reps. Say I do increase the weight, I do 6 to 8 reps with like 350 pounds. So that's really heavy, really heavy. And so then the next week, you know, progressive overload, I either want to do more weight or more reps for the most part. That's kind of how we think of progressive overload. But I think for something like a hip thrust, it's important that we continue to practice good form and control. So maybe for myself, I did 350 for 6 and it wasn't the most controlled. So you're kind of using a little bit more power, you're really driving up to the top and then just kind of dropping down to the bottom to get the weight up, rather than controlling the weight throughout the entire movement and really making sure it's your glutes that are squeezing at the top to lift that weight, and you're not just using momentum to drive the barbell up. That isn't to say that that's a bad way to train. If your goal is to train for power, you want to be explosive, you want to drive the weight up at the top. But if your goal is to build muscle, you want to build your glute muscles, controlling the weight is going to be more beneficial for hypertrophy. So when it comes to progressive overload, it's important to increase the weight. You obviously want to continue to challenge yourself, and it's important to find a weight initially that's actually challenging for your muscle and isn't just fatiguing you or feeling hard mentally, or maybe sometimes we can like exhaust our cardiovascular system more than the muscle group that we're trying to build. So for myself, for something like a hip thrust, today I was doing 5 sets of 6 to 8 reps. And so last week I did 320 pounds for 8 reps. So that's where I started again this week. And I'm still being intentional about wanting to apply progressive overload. So what I do, for my first set, I did 8 reps with 320. It felt pretty good. I was able to look back and see that last week I had done 3 sets of 8 with 320, and then I had done 2 sets of 6 with 320. So I think there's a couple ways that you could approach progressive overload in this situation. I decided that I would try to continue to get 8 reps out of 320. My goal was that I would be able to control the weight a little bit more and just get stronger at 320, more comfortable, moving more smoothly before I increase the weight. Now you could potentially say, well, why don't I increase the weight and only do 6 reps? That's an option as well. Because I can't do 5 sets with 8 reps yet, I stuck with that weight, but you could definitely increase to like 340 and do your sets of 6. I think for me, the potential is I don't think I could get 5 sets of 6 necessarily at a heavier weight, and that I would have to back off the weight. So, and my rest times are relatively short. So this week, instead of doing 3 sets of 8, I was able to get 4 sets of 8 at 320 and 1 set of 6 at 320. So I still have room to increase my reps next week across my last set so that I'm doing 5 sets of 320 if I am capable of doing that. My 4th set at 320, my lockout on like my last 2 to 3 reps was quite difficult, and I wasn't feeling like I had the most control for my last couple of reps. So to me, that's an indicator that I shouldn't increase the weight just yet. I need to focus on building my strength up with this weight so that I'm able to control it more throughout all of the reps, so that I'm able to use my glutes to move the weight, and that my glutes are actually going to be challenged, and that I'm not using too much momentum or losing proper form in order to progress. Progressive overload can be applied by, of course, increasing the weight, but before you increase the weight, I think you need to make sure that you're comfortable with the weight you're currently using, you're able to move that weight well, your form looks great while you're moving it, rather than just jumping to an increased weight. So most of the time you also have some sort of rep range you can aim for, so you can definitely increase the reps you're doing, the total volume you're doing. So say, like for myself last week, I increased the total volume I did this week at 320 pounds. So you can increase the reps that you're doing, and that will in turn increase the total volume. But you can also manage your rest time. So you could rest less, and that would be progressive overload, which I don't know that much. So in my opinion, I don't think that is the best for muscle growth. I think what you're challenging by decreasing rest is going to be your cardiovascular system, but I could be wrong about that. So you could decrease the total rest, or I think the most beneficial way to apply progressive overload if you are wanting to build muscle, and something that's maybe not really talked about as much because it's less objective, but you could do the same reps with the same weight, but with more control and a better application of time under tension. So like for my hip thrusts, say I'm doing my 8 reps, right now I'm driving to the top, I'm dropping down, I'm driving to the top, I'm dropping down. I could aim to do that with more control. So I could lift up to the top, get a good full squeeze in my glutes, and then control the weight down. Hit the bottom position and immediately come back up. Limit any pausing that's going on in the bottom. Keep the tension on the glutes the entire time. Control that weight and really move it well for all 8 reps. And I could focus on doing that across all 5 of my sets before I try to increase the weight and then adjust my reps from there. So there's kind of different ways to apply progressive overload. I think it's easy and tempting to get carried away with just increasing the weight and then letting our form break down. I think it's important to remember, if your goal is hypertrophy, that we are not training for a strength sport or a strength event. So obviously strength is wonderful and it's still really beneficial and it's motivating and healthy to be training for strength. Also, rather than we don't need to obsess over the numbers that we're hitting because we're not competing with our strength. So it's great to increase our strength over time, but I think what should be the priority over that is increasing our control with the weight that we are using and then building our strength. But first off, we should, and I think that's probably important for everybody, even if you are doing a strength sport, is aim to move the weight with control, safely, with good form, good technique, before you then increase the weight. I think it's just promoted a lot that you need to lift heavy in order to get results. And I think that heavy is obviously relative, but that can be somewhat misleading. I think you need to be lifting with intensity, training near failure, but making sure you're training with proper form so that you're actually targeting the muscles that you want to grow. Are you watching TV? That's a good look. I just finished filming another video and my voice is very hoarse, so I'm just making some tea. I have to apologize because Johnny is teaching class downstairs, so you can hear probably some voices and some music playing. Hopefully not too clearly. But I thought I would make some tea. I'm gonna sit down. It's like 6:30 right now, and I'm gonna try and make my meal plan for the next week and maybe the next month. I actually like meal planning for a month at a time, so we'll see. But I thought I would just kind of show you what I have in my fridge, freezer, and pantry, so that I can get an idea of what I have to figure out what I need for groceries. So I try to use everything that I already have on hand. I try to keep a decently stocked fridge, freezer, and pantry, so I'm hoping I have enough stuff because groceries are really expensive. Pretty much every week we have to buy some sort of protein, but I'm gonna peek through and see what I have. So I don't think we actually have a ton of stuff right now. I do have one mostly full thing of egg whites, and then I have 1, 2, 3 full cottage cheese and 1/2, and then I have 1 jumbo plain Greek yogurt. I have like 1/4 of a jar of jam. You can't really see how much is in there, but there's about 1/4. I have this sour cream that I'm actually going to use for supper tonight. My coffee cream is full, but I might as well buy another one of these if they are a decent price because they don't really expire. These are not great as far as calories go. I don't know. It's pick and choose if you want cream, like full fat cream, half and half cream, black coffee. I don't know. I get this because I'm the only one who drinks coffee in our household, so I can't get through cream fast enough before it expires. We've got chocolate milk. That's good for a couple more days. It's almost gone. A few eggs in here. Let's see. Like maybe 9 eggs. And then in here is where we have like our ramen eggs. So that's like a soy sauce type marinade. In here. So I have celery and carrots that I need to use. I think this can get thrown out, which is too bad. I've had this for a long time. It's iceberg lettuce. Bought it for something and then I kind of forgot about it, and now it's just been sitting there, and to be honest, I'm not gonna eat it, and I hate wasting food. It's also a waste of money, but I know it's not gonna get eaten, so I'll just get rid of that. Apples, we have like 5 apples. So this carrot and celery I want to use up, and so to me that's like screaming soup. Maybe like a chicken pot pie or something would be good. Upstairs freezer, we do have a deep freeze as well. So in here, I know I have half a box of these are from Costco. They're so good. Chicken ham and Swiss, super easy. Hardly any frozen pieces. Half a bag of frozen Brussels sprouts. Frozen mango, we have. These are not going to get eaten anytime soon. We didn't buy them. Frozen mango, and I have frozen mixed berries. 1 thing of ground turkey. So this is hot chocolate. I've got coffee and hot chocolate. I have green lentils, red lentils, chickpeas. Got pinto beans. Back there I have pistachios. So some sort of soup would obviously be a logical decision. There's a really good lentil chickpea soup that I love, but I don't think it uses any celery or carrots. I'm going to try to prioritize using up my perishable foods. I've got 2 onions and just half a head of garlic. This is a bunch of like dry food. My protein granola, I go through this a lot. It's relatively high calorie, but if you're bulking, it's a plus. This is like nuts and stuff, so I have peanuts, pistachio, walnut. I think I have more beans in here. I've got this sliced black fungus. This is quite popular in like Chinese cooking, so Johnny's family cooks with this quite often, or you have it in soup. But it is so insanely good on fiber. So you just soak this in water and then cook it, and pretty much you could put this in a stir fry or soup. It doesn't taste like much, but it's got a nice like kind of chewy texture. It's really tasty, and a huge way to boost some protein that's actually whole food. So up here I have this syrup. We don't have much for like sugar-free syrup here, so this is like a lighter syrup option. 40 calories for 10 tablespoons. Mustard salsa. I love this butter chicken sauce. Especially if you get like a rotisserie chicken and you just want to do like something more interesting with your chicken breast. This is so good. I think the macros are decent as far as a butter chicken goes. So easy to make. And you get 2 of these at Costco for a decent price. A bunch of plastic bags that we save. I have like no PB Fit left. Probably won't buy more of this right now. But this is from Costco. It's fairly expensive, but honestly this lasted me a long time. This has amazing macros. I don't like to use this as a peanut butter substitute. Maybe when I'm cutting I will. I don't find it tastes like peanut butter necessarily, like if you're mixing it up into a spread, but I like it in smoothies or oatmeal and whatnot. This is just a bunch of yellow curry paste. I didn't buy that. Raisins my boyfriend eats. We have a bunch of these water flavors here because I like to have flavor in my water. Single can of tuna. This is all of our like spreads. We have, I don't know why, so many small things of peanut butter, pistachio butter. This is so good. This is from Costco. This lasted us a very long time. Honestly, it's basically the same macros as peanut butter. I think it maybe has more sugar, but because this serving size is 17 grams, so it's about equivalent to your full fat peanut butter, but there's like none left in there. We have some canned pineapple. Might be good for a recipe like a sweet and sour pork. And then I bought this onion soup mix. I can't remember what for, but it is just super nice to have on hand when you're making like any type of sauces or anything. It adds great flavor and it's super easy. Down here I have a little bit of chickpea pasta. This is empty. This is red quinoa and regular quinoa. Oats are in here, and then this is just white sugar. And lastly, I've got my chia seeds down here, some muesli. Mostly only Johnny eats that right now. And then Kodiak cakes. I've been eating a lot of these. We have, what's the word? It's not whey protein. It's like the really, oh, casein. Casein protein. This is my glutamine, our creatine, and that's an empty jar of whey protein back there. We have a whole bunch of glutamine. We've got some powdered drink mixes that Johnny drinks. We have a couple cans of Diet Spritz Up, which is Sprite. Flour. This is our container of rice, and we have more bags of rice back there. This basket's pretty much like a mix of random things that are like not that good on calories. These tortillas we do eat regularly though. Those are great. They're from Costco. They're nothing special. Yeah, this is just random stuff. We've got like Ferrero Rochers. I don't dig through here too much. This black jasmine rice is good though. So random stuff. So pantry staples. Nothing here that I need to like worry about using up. This mahi mahi I'm defrosting for supper tonight. There's a tiny bit of pork in here. We've got mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese. These are really tasty. These like cultured dairy drinks. Low calorie, very good in probiotics. I should have one. But don't need to worry about using those up. Very quickly, I'm just gonna look at my other side of the fridge. I've got this lemon that I'm gonna use for dinner, broccoli that I will probably cook for dinner, and then green beans that I bought for a pork stir fry. So I'll probably make at least a pork stir fry this week. And then this container is rice. I don't know if I mentioned that. We just keep pre-cooked rice in here because we use the rice cooker. On the top are all just condiments. They should all still be good because I just went through here the other day. More condiments here, and then all of our pre-filled SodaStream bottles, and there's some fish sauce hanging out back there. Gives me an idea of what I need to use up, what I have on hand. So we also have a deep freeze, but pretty much the only thing I know that we have in there is the pork loin. Otherwise, it's a lot of like dim sum stuff, kind of more like treats and whatnot. And I'm gonna try to make my meal plan based on that. I'm gonna make my tea right now. But actually, I should just show you. I also have on the counter 2 more slices of this apple walnut coffee cake that I made. It's really, really good. Not low calorie, just tasty. And then in this one, we have like a quarter of a loaf. This is basil, sun-dried tomato, cheddar, and garlic bread that I made. It's actually so good. I'm very proud of it. I'm gonna make another loaf of stuffed bread tomorrow. If you are a cat owner, if you know, you know. Why are you in there? What are you doing? What on earth are you doing? That's not where cats go. I'm just cooking supper. I'm actually pretty much done. I made us some mahi-mahi and I steamed some broccoli, and then it goes with this sauce. This sauce is so good. This is the second time I made it. I made it slightly different this time because I used sour cream instead of cream or milk because that's what I had. But it's like chicken stock, onion, garlic, butter, the bits from your fish that you fry in the pan, and then I added sour cream. I think it calls for heavy cream. Previously I did it with milk and it turned out really good. And then a squeeze of lemon, salt, pepper, and this just has parsley. I think it calls for thyme as well. But it's so good. I'm going to add the fish back to the pan just so it can warm up in the sauce a little bit. But this, I'm having it with mahi-mahi. I think it would be great with basa, salmon, chicken breast, anything like that. It's just a really tasty sauce, and it's actually super simple to throw together. It has a little bit of cornstarch. You just reduce it and it thickens up nicely. So here is my finished supper. I've got some steamed broccoli. These are I have a 1.5 of the mahi-mahi fillets in the sauce that I cooked. And then I'm having bread as my carb today instead of rice. So super, well, relatively easy meal. Steamed broccoli is like the easiest vegetable. You don't need any skill to prepare steamed broccoli. Bread was already made. Searing the fish fillet is also really easy, and I would say the sauce is relatively easy. So overall, fairly easy meal. Really good macros. The macros on fish are just crazy. I love seafood. So I'm gonna eat this, and I think we're gonna watch something on Netflix. And Johnny's is also somewhere. He's having some rice with his as well. Usually I would have this with rice, but I have this delicious bread to eat today. All right. I just had a shower, and I'm gonna finish getting ready for bed and kind of wrap up the video here. So I showered, I brushed my teeth. I took off my makeup with a reusable cloth, and I cleansed my skin. I'm just gonna use a tiny bit of micellar water to get the makeup that sticks around my eyes. The sleeping mask, I wear this all the time though. I feel like it's gonna last me a really long time too. I know it's quite expensive, but it's gonna take a while to get through this whole thing. I use this as like a lip product throughout the day. I would say it's the best product I've ever tried in terms of hydration, but it is not long lasting. So I hope you can see this relatively well. So of course these are my macronutrients. So these are what are tailored specifically to me right now. So I don't want to encourage you to copy these, but I do find for myself it's kind of helpful and interesting to see what other people's nutrition looks like. I'm not a dietitian or a nutritionist or anything. I'm just sharing what my day ended up breaking down to be. So these are the macros I'm trying to follow that my coach has given me. So I have a goal of 45% carbs. I hit 46, 30% fat. I was at 26, so I needed a little bit more fat today. And then I actually went over on my protein. I had 28% protein today. And then just looking at my other nutrients, I was 7 grams over on my fiber. I ate a lot of bread today that had fiber in it. And 10 grams under on my fat, but 16 grams over on my protein, which is unusual for me. And then honestly, I don't pay that much attention to all of this like micronutrient stuff. It gets a little bit overwhelming. So all in all, I am happy with this macro split for the day, and I ended up being 15 calories under, so I was pretty much right on track. I don't worry too much about a few calories here and there. And so I think my meals were pretty even between my snacks. So breakfast was $5.94. Lunch was pretty big, $6.97. That was also my post-workout meal. Supper was $5.57, and my snacks totaled to $5.37. So pretty even split throughout the day. So I'm pretty happy with that. I ended up planning to make fish stew tomorrow. That's going to use up some of those carrots, celery, and some onion that I have. I have my green beans in the fridge and my pork in the freezer, so I'm going to do pork and green bean stir fry. I kind of already had that in mind. And then I am going to make teriyaki turkey. That's one of my favorites. It's super easy, but usually it has zucchini and mushroom in it. I might try doing it with part with zucchini and part with broccoli, and then get the mushrooms as well. So I already have the teriyaki sauce and I have my turkey in the freezer. And so I'll make just those 3 meals, but I also might make tuna noodle casserole just because I feel like it, and it's very easy. So this ends up being my grocery list for this week. Nothing too outrageous. Hopefully I can stick to that, and that will keep me on budget for the week. But that's just a super simple like overview of how I do my meal plan. So I'll cook supper Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then since I'm working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll use those leftovers as my meals to take with me to work. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyways, I am going to end this vlog here. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pretty realistic look at a chill day in my life, not working, kind of just going to the gym and seeing how things go throughout the day. If you did enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in seeing more vlog style content, please leave me a comment down below and let me know. Or leave me a comment and let me know what other type of content you'd like to see, or let me know how things are going on your own fitness journey. Anything like that, I would love to chat with you in the comments as well. You can find all my social media information in the description down below. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for more, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Have a lovely rest of your day, a wonderful evening, and keep chasing after your goals.